everyone, welcome back. Today we have Guerlain Spring, or to me, the way it looks, Guerlain Fall. And I bought both of the eyeshadow quads, the new Meteorites, and one of the lipsticks in one of the lipstick cases. I did not get the bronzers because for me, Guerlain bronzers they're too warm for me. There are a few Guerlain bronzers that work for me. There's one in particular that has pink all the way through it. It's not an overspray. That does work. But the rest of them really are too warm, and I have so many bronzers as it is. Paying for the overspray or paying for a bronzer that might work, it didn't seem to make sense for me. So let me show you all the pieces that I picked up. I also have some new stuff from Chanel, and I will weave that in as well. So this is the Majestic Feathers collection. It celebrates the plumage of the most fascinating bird, their unique colors, and sumptuous glints. Iconic products designed to beautifully enhance the lips, eyes, and complexion. So the Ultra Care lipsticks, there were velvet lipsticks, and there are 3 cases that you can use to interchange with the lipsticks that you choose, depending on which lipsticks you want. And the Majestic Feathers, there are 3. There is a Phoenix, there is a Songbird, and there is a Peacock. I purchased the Peacock because it's blue. It's blue and green. That is my favorite color story, so that's what I picked up. The Songbird also appealed to me. I was thinking about that one. And the Majestic Feathers is beautiful, but it's kind of a warm reddish thing, which wasn't really I was like, it's nice, but but not really what I would say I wanted to pick up. So I picked up the Peacock. And then in the shades of lipstick, there are actually a couple of new shades. There is the Le Rose Rouge, which is an intense rosewood. There is a Le Brun Cajou, which is a deep brown. There's a Le Rouge Coral, which is a bright orange pink. There is a Le Brick Ombre, which is a brick red. There is a Le Prune Magenta, which is an intense plum. And then there's the La Orange Cien, which is an orange brown, which is the one that I picked up. I picked up the orange red. But of the limited edition shades, there's something called La Beige Blush, which is a rosy beige, and La Nude Draguée, which is a light nude. I thought about getting those because I tend to wear nude lipsticks, but I was just like, you know what? Let's get something a little bit different this time. What I would say, though, I find interesting is that you would do velvet lipsticks for the summer. Again, this seems to me, it's just my take, that this was a somehow fall collection that got moved to the spring and summer. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't put a velvet lipstick in the summer. That's just, again, my taste, my take on it. But it does seem a little strange that you would have velvet lipsticks for the summer. But that's what the collection has. Then you have the Meteorites. These are the Meteorites Phoenix. So here is the case. And these are limited edition, as were the cases for the lipsticks. And it says, to celebrate the great spectacle of nature, Guerlain has created a new limited edition Meteorites, light revealing pearls. It says, inside the case, a new harmony of pearls of powder incorporates 2 new shades in vibrant tones, a magenta pink and a nude beige, creating a natural flushed glow. So this is a new shade for Guerlain. It has new shades of pearls in here. You have the powder puff, and then you have the whatever this is that's always been in there. It is the new fragrance, not the old fragrance. I mean, it still smells nice, but again, they did change the fragrance. They haven't changed it back. The Meteorites are $76, and like I said, those are limited edition, as are the lipstick cases. By the way, the bronzing powder, it's $65, Terracotta Peacock. That is also limited edition. Now, the eyeshadow quads, there are 2 new shades. These are not limited edition, so you have longer to pick these up. They may sell out. I mean, it's possible they'll sell out, but they should come back because they're part of the collection. We have Emerald Feather, and we have Birdie Beige. Both $85. Emerald Feather, Birdie Beige. Emerald Feather, as you can see, has like some golden and green tones. You'll see the more up-close pictures of it. It is, I think, a welcome addition to the lineup because they do have a green, but they have not had something that this was more that olive, that khaki kind of shade, which I, love. So I think that's a good addition. And then the Birdie Beige, as you can see, it looks similar to Imperial Moon. The difference, I would say, between these two is that you have, instead of, when I hold it up, you'll see. So you can see that there's a lot of similar shades, but the Birdie Beige is a deeper quad. The Imperial Moon has that silvery shade in it that I think differentiates. The Birdie Beige has the brown in it, and this one has the silver. So I think that's the main difference, but the color story is similar to Imperial Moon. It's without the silver. So it's a deeper, more brown, more beige collection. And so I did not pick up, like I said, I did not pick up the bronzers. So what I thought I would do today is put on the Emerald Feather for you. And I will also put on this new lipstick in the orange matte shade. Their mattes are much more comfortable than they used to be, I have to say. Like, they used to be very uncomfortable. Now they look great. The Meteorites. So I went and looked. I have 10 tins of Meteorites. And it is true, I don't have anything that is exactly this shade, because the beige shade in here and the deeper pink shades in here are different from what Guerlain has done before. However, Guerlain has done a pink before, and this was called Pink Pearl, I think. Yeah, Pink Pearl. And you can see the difference between the two. The new one is much lighter, much more golden and beige, where this one is definitely more pink. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this new one, and we're gonna see how that looks, like kind of all over the face. And then I'll use, like, we'll try to see how it works maybe as a blush on me. I don't really know how this is gonna work. We're gonna see what it does, because the thing about the Meteorites is, depending on the intensity, you can either have it be an all over glow, you can have it be a blush, you can have it be a highlighter. It depends on how you use it and how the colors are. So I want to get, I want to get a little bit of a denser brush to start this out. And just, the smell is really, really beautiful, guys, the scent. It is not the old Just Violet though. I mean, they did change it. Okay, so let's try it like as blush first. Blush slash, and it does, you can see, have a little bit of that pink. And the reason I'm saying that a little is because you can see on my skin. So if you're somebody who wants a super, I mean, we're talking very, very subtle highlighted blush, this will do it. It's very nice, actually. I mean, I love the Meteorites. The performance, the formula. These aren't shimmery. I would say more than anything else, they are, this one is slightly mattifying. Sets and beautifully enhances makeup, corrects the complexion, mattifies for 8 hours, and smooths skin texture. Leaves the complexion radiant for up to 12 hours. I don't know if it's going to be 12 hours, but it is a very nice glow, but it does sort of mattify at the same time, which is, I know, hard to explain, but do you see the glow here? I don't have any highlighter on. The way the light hits, there's natural light coming in. So I think that's what you're getting. And then it's mattifying, you know, the cheeks. Yeah, it's very, very nice. There are also less Meteorites in the new pearls. There are less pearls than there used to be. I mean, you can just see it. I think the tin is lighter too, but there's definitely less Meteorites. That's for sure. Now, so if you take the pink one, and then, like I said, this is an old one. You can't get this one anymore. But this is pink. Like, it's not, and I'm just gonna kind of stamp here, and you'll see it pretty quickly. Can you see how much pinker it is? So if you have the pink pearls and you were like, well, I don't know, you know, is it really that different? Yeah, it's definitely different than the pink pearls. It's definitely a more subtle, it's got the beige in it, the golden in it, in addition to the the deeper pink. So that's what I would say. Now, if we want to use it as like an all-over highlight, an all-over setting radiant powder kind of thing, let's do that at the end after we do the eye look so you guys can see it. Really quickly, my nail polish. Now, first of all, my nails are looking terrible. They are getting better because of the Apres nail solution that I've been talking about. That stuff really works. If I'll put up a picture to remind me. There is this solution that I use. The Apres uses like the bond that I have for my hair. They have a nail solution, and I've talked about it. And so if you saw the pictures from like a month ago when I first got my nails off compared to today, it's a huge difference. They look a lot better, but they're still, I mean, I've had dip nails on for over a year, so it takes long for them to grow out. But the nail polish color is from Chanel. This is Golden Mermaid, and these are the new shades from Chanel, and they have this like summer, you can see that, summery iridescent glow. I have on this one, which is a little bit warmer because I just thought it would be perfect for today. And my understanding is these are just in boutiques right now. I don't know if they'll be online, but they're really nice. These are limited edition. They're a very glowy, very sheer nail. If you're somebody who likes something very light and you don't want really like a heavy nail polish, these are great. Or if you want to put it over something. For me right now, as I'm growing out my nails, this is perfect because there's ridges in my nails and I don't really need, I mean, I have to wait till they grow out, frankly, but it'll give me some strength on my nails and at least they look a little nicer. So for me, it was like the perfect thing to buy right now. But just, you know, it's a very sheer look and it's kind of meant for, I think, an over another type of nail polish. And the other thing that I picked up that I want to mention is this new Chanel Serum in Mist. You know how I love a good mist. And this is an ultra lightweight biphase formula. It combines the power of the red camellia, which they have in their #1 line, extract with the lightness of a mist. It is a triple action daily skincare essential. You can take on the go because you carry it with you. It refreshes, helps protect, and restores the look of radiance. So this is something that you can just spray on all the time. Now you shake the bottle to combine the biphase means like there's two, you know. And then you close your eyes and you apply it to the face, spraying twice in a horizontal motion and twice in a vertical motion. I don't think it really matters, but you know, do not spray into your eyes. I think that's kind of an obvious one. So I do think the Chanel #1 line I really like. I have the serum, you know, the bottle serum, but the spray I thought was just like really great. So it protects, it soothes, and it enhances your radiance. Like how can you not like that? So I really like these products. I really like the Chanel #1. I think the scent is lovely, and I like the feel of it on the skin. So you can use it over makeup. Ta-da! So it's not going to mess up your makeup or anything, but it does really enhance the radiance in your skin, and it does seem to help and soothe the skin. I'm not sure if that's the camellia. I have to do more research to understand exactly how it works, but I have been using it to just sort of spray in when I don't have any makeup on and sort of like press it into my skin like it suggests. I love the scent of it, first of all. I really do. And I really like the serum, the dropper. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be perfect for me. So I'll keep using it and I will give you details, but it is new to the Chanel line. All right, so let's use Emerald, see how that looks on the eye. I'm gonna go in with some soft brushes today and try to get a lighter look out of this, but I would just say, you know, these shades and the velvet lipstick, to me, does scream fall. So I admit, I was a little confused by the choice of colors, but you know, I guess, you know, if you're in Australia, it is winter. So, you know, I mean, maybe that was the targeted market. That's possible. Or maybe this was a fall collection for Europe and the US and somehow it got pushed to summer. Or maybe this is just, you know, their interpretation of summer. I just feel like the colors are a little deep for a traditional summer look, and the velvet lipsticks to me anyway, I generally don't wear velvet lipsticks in the summertime. But again, you can wear whatever you want, whenever you want. Okay, that's whatever you like. So we're taking the golden sort of peachy shade and putting it everywhere. And it's a really nice shade. It has great payoff. It's, as you can see, easily going on. I'm using soft brushes. So these aren't, you know, brushes that impart a lot of pigment. If you wanted to use like a very dense brush or a very stiff brush, I think you would even get more pigment out of this. And this could be a great one and done shade. You can put on some mascara. It's, you know, it's going to look very nice. It's going to make blue eyes pop a little bit because of the orange kind of shade to it. And then we're going to take the green shades and use mostly the green shades. The golden shade that's in here, I'm going to use on the inner corner of my eye. So let's take let's take the light green and we'll spread that on the eyelid. Depending on, you know, how you want to enhance these shades, of course, you can use less or more of the green, less or more of the peach, gold. I actually think it's a relatively versatile quad, given that it's a green, which a lot of people will shy away from if it's not a color that they use, but I think you could definitely use more or less of it depending on, you know, how you want to do that. All right, we're going to take the deeper green. They cover each other well. They have good opacity for each shade. So when you put that, you know, orangey shade down, the green over it, even though technically that green shade is a little lighter, it certainly covers it well. It just creates a nice blended effect, which is what you want from your shadows. It's kind of like painting, you know. Watercolors are going to blend into each other. Oils should cover each other. And this is more of an oil, if you want to put it in that term, because it's a little bit heavier kind of look. It's not a watery, thin, filmy kind of look. All right, let's take that gold shade. And the gold shade is very bright, as you saw in the swatch. So if you wanted to make this like a very bright look, you could definitely use that all over the eye. You're going to get a, you know, a very different look because it's a very bright gold. It's actually very pretty, but it's going to be much more impactful. I could take a little bit of that gold and just lightly, and I mean lightly, pop it on the center of the eyelid like that. And then let's take the lighter green, run it under the eye, and then let's take the deep green just on the outer corner here. If you wanted to enhance the look a little bit more, Guerlain has a number of eyeliners that you could use as well that would enhance this, you know, whether you want to use something that's green or use something that has like more of a dark brown or black kind of shade, you can enhance the look. Now, if we were going for a more summery look, I think I would keep the deeper green. I would sort of lean towards the lighter green and maybe the peach, or just do the gold all over the eye to make it very, you know, to me it does scream fall, but I think I'm just programmed that way to think of as fall with these deeper colors. Again, it doesn't have to be that way. And of course it is winter in parts of the world. So let me put on a little bit of mascara and then we'll come back and talk about the collection a little bit more. So I added a little bit of liner. This is the Lisa Eldridge Cinnabar. Yeah, Cinnabar, which is similar to this lip shade. It has that sort of warm orange red, and I just added a little bit. I didn't use a lot of it, but I wanted to have like a little bit of an outline for the matte lipstick. I think it's very comfortable. It's really nice for a matte lipstick if that's something that you're interested in picking up. I believe all the shades though are velvets. So the case is gorgeous. I really love the case. I do feel like the heft of the cases, what is the word I'm looking for? Like the old cases seemed more substantial. These do seem a little less substantial, more like tinny almost. They are less substantial. I'm not exactly sure what that is because they're basically the same size, but they feel like they're less. They're still very pretty. They have the gold now instead of the silver. As you know, I'm annoyed with them for changing it at all because then the old cases don't fit the new and all that good stuff. But We've talked about that many times. We don't need to talk about it again. The Meteorites. So this is a really nice new shade. I think someone like me absolutely can use this as a very subtle blush, which is lovely. It has a nice goldeny beige pink. So it's not as pink as the pink pearl. So if you have the pink pearl or you didn't want something that pink, you wanted something a little bit more beige, this absolutely does that. It is 2 new shades, 2 new types of pearls that they have in here. There's a gorgeous like mother of pearl kind of finish that gives the radiance, but then the flat pearls kind of do this like mattifying, blurring technology, which is very, very nice. So I do think it looks great on the skin. I've always said that about the Meteorites. I think the Meteorites are a beautiful formula. My understanding is they didn't change the formula, they changed the scent. Been through this, I don't know why. I've asked, don't have an answer. So let's use it as an all over radiance kind of powder and see what we think. I think it's gonna be really nice on my skin tone. I think it'll be nice on pretty much anybody. They don't, as you saw, they don't impart a tremendous amount of shade pigment. So it's not like it's gonna be something like the pink pearls that if you're very, very fair, it still shows up as pink and you might not want that all over. But this is a beautiful all over shade. It's, like I said, it has a little bit of a beige, golden with a little bit of pink, and it's very, very nice. I like the scent. It's like that sandalwood / violet. I like the old scent better, but you know, that doesn't exist, so no point in you know, going on about something that isn't there anymore. The cover is quite beautiful. The birds makes a lovely look. The shadow, it is extremely pigmented and looks gorgeous on. I am sure you have these shades if you have a decent sized collection like myself. I have these shades, but I will say I do really like this combination. I love olives. I love khakis. I love that orangey burnt umber, you know, yellow gold. This is all very beautiful to me. And it reminds me a little bit of the seagrass that Clé de Peau has, or the green one from Tom Ford, which I've just lost the name of because of my brain. But anyway, there's a couple of different ones that are like this. And the Lisa Eldridge one that has just been introduced, I think is similar to this as well, but I have not purchased it yet. So absolutely, I would encourage you to buy it if you like these shades. I think it's beautiful. But I also think because it is part of the collection, this could wait until later in the year when you feel like you'd wear it more. Or maybe you're somebody who doesn't ascribe to, you know, traditional color stories for seasons, which I totally support. So if you're somebody who wears like a heavier look in the summer, you know, I don't wear a lot of makeup in the summer. I can't handle it. Tomorrow, or I forget which day I'm in, it's gonna be 102 in New England. If you don't hear from me for a couple days, DM me, make sure I'm okay. No, it's just, you know, if it's 102, I can tell you right now, guys, not only am I not putting on makeup, but my hair will not be down. It will be up the entire time. I'm lucky if I'm wearing shorts and a tank top, and that's like it. When I'm hot, everything else goes out the window. So I'm not the person to ask for like summer style, like what makeup to wear, because I don't. The Tint and Protect from Ciel has been a wonderful product for me, and that's what I have on today, and that's what I've been wearing like nonstop because I can't handle anything else on my skin at this point because it's just too hot and I can't take it. So yeah, so I'm not gonna be wearing any powder. I'm not gonna be even the Meteorites. I'm not gonna do it. And this velvet lipstick, although incredibly comfortable, I'm probably not wearing that either because it's something. It's something on my skin, on my lips, and I just can't do it. The beige, the birdie beige. I really like this color story and I will definitely do a look with it, whether it's, you know, a short or Instagram or something. But here's the thing. I do think it's very similar to Imperial Moon. The difference, of course, is in this one you have the brown and in this one you have this silver shade, which makes a huge difference. You know, it does deepen up this look quite a bit. But I think the shades are there are some really strong similarities between these two. So if you have Imperial Moon and you love it for that light silvery shade in there, I don't know, this might not be, you know, your thing. Again, though, if you love that color story and you love that sort of, I would call it a cool toned, yeah, a cool toned neutral. You know, the black in there has got a grayish tone. The brown is definitely cool. And then that the satiny shade in there is like a very light mushroom shade. And the only shade that's in any way warm is this shade here. And it's not that warm. Like it's not orange like the one that I put, the satin one in here. It's more of a taupe. So it's definitely the cool version, whereas the emerald is the warm version of these two. But I do think it's a beautiful quad as well, and the pigment's definitely there for both of them. To me though, it's just not something I'm gonna wear during the summer. But you know, I'm thrilled that I have these two, and I will wear them because they're definitely color stories that I like. I just, it's gonna be a couple months before you see me with them. So I'll make sure that I continue to review. But again, love the colors, love the formulas. They did a great job. But to me, the colors are just a little, and the formulas are a little off for the season. The Chanel nail polishes, if you're interested in these, like I said, I think they're just at the boutiques, but that could change. And they are like a sheer, shimmery, iridescent kind of thing. You could use it as a top coat, or if you're going through a nail transition like I am, they're perfect for that. I really want to put my dip nails back on, but I'm trying to break from that for a while. It's probably better for me. And then the mist. I love this stuff. I love a really good mist. I love the scent of the #1. If you haven't smelled it, go into a Chanel boutique, smell it. I think that might actually be in other stores as well. Smell it, see if you like it. But I feel like it's a soothing mist, which I really like, and I like the fact that it's got the serum in it. And then it's a mist that I can carry around. And I do admit, I like the egg. They have this is the same shape as their hand lotion, and I do love that. I don't know why, but it feels like a pebble. I feel like a, little sea otter with the little, I don't know. I'm cracking up, guys. It's too hot. Okay, so that is it for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like I said, the lipstick cases and the Meteorites are limited edition. The eyeshadows are not. So if you love the eyeshadows, but you want to wait, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want to do that, especially if there's a sale later on. The Meteorites and the lipstick cases, they do sell out. The Meteorites usually go first, generally. I do like this shade. I think it's quite beautiful on. I think it would work as a very subtle blush, but it also looks really lovely all over. And I don't have any bronzer on today. I don't have any highlighter on. I wanted you to just see the Meteorites by themselves. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you in another video really soon.